Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. For all his accomplishments in earth, wind and air, wind and fire, which range from multi-platinum album sales and Grammy awards to be coveted spot in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, singer Philip Bailey has always viewed the band as a means to an end. It's given me a platform to meet and help so many people to learn a lot of new things and grow, and writing the book really kind of revealed that to me, said Bailey, whose new biography Shining Star chronicles his life and outside of the 45-year-old funk R&B institution. It was eerie, really, because it's like in an accident where your life flashes before your eyes. Writing a book like this allowed me to go to some places I have not been for quite some time. The 62-year-old Denver native who supports flashy costumes and dance moves on stage is soft-spoken and thoughtful in phone interviews, so it's easy to believe when he says his aim with Shining Star, braving the elements of earth, wind and fire, out April 15 on Viking Press, was not to apprentice himself. In fact, it was not even his idea. I did not think I had a story to tell, he said, but I was touring with producer and musician David Foster, and at his 60th birthday party a few years back, a book agent asked if I wanted to do it. In the past, when people have suggested that, I have just kind of shoved it off as being a slight compliment, but sure enough, that following year the agent called me and said, here's the two guys you are going to work with. Those guys were Keith and Kent Zimmerman, identical twins from Oakland, California, who have penned nearly 20 books together on subjects ranging from the Hells Angels to co-written autobiographies of Alice Cooper and Trace Adkins. Between tour dates, Bailey spent the next year and a half rolling tape in the family room of his Southern California home with the Zimmermans, tracing the lines of his life from his childhood musical obsessions to the present day. Music was the thing that caught my soul's attention from the earliest I can ever remember, said Bailey, who grew up near what's now the old Stapleton Airport on a diet of jazz, R&B, gospel and blues. The first time I heard a professional jazz quartet practicing in a house down the street, it was almost like an out-of-body experience. I heard the way it was supposed to sound. Bailey studied bass and percussion and sang in gospel choirs up through his time at Denver's East High School, eventually playing gigs at area bars and nightclubs multiple nights a week. Before he was old enough to drink alcohol, he witnessed the swirling elements of late 1960s pop culture as race and spirituality became mainstream topics of discussion. His journey eventually brought him to Earth, Wind and Fire, which Maurice White had founded in 1969 and which Bailey joined in 1972 after moving to Los Angeles. The band, which had begun combining mysticism with a smooth but experimental took on rock, funk, R&B and soul, soared on Bailey's versatile musicianship and effortless falsetto voice. Maurice was always encouraging me back in the day when we were reading a lot of self-help books, so I got very interested in the Bible and a lot of theological stuff from the 70s on, Bailey said. Earth and Wind and Fire's ever spiritually and showmanship was not unique, but it helped propel songs like Mighty Mighty, Shining Star, Fantasy and others to the top of the chart. As Bailey rubbed elbows with various stars and musical idols of the time, his early love of music for music's sake was only reinforced, especially as he became more devoutly Christian. Even in the midst of this business, which has nothing to do with the art and can really suck all the life out of you if you let it, I have tried to stay on my toes, he said. I try to have different experiences with different people and energies and do things that will challenge me. Bailey's solo career hit new heights with his second album, Chinese Wall, which spawned the hit single Easy Lover with buddy Phil Collins in 1984. But as chronicled in the chapter Wandering in the Wilderness, Bailey's confidence also faltered as Earth, Wind and Fire faced smaller audiences and changing taste in the 1980s and 90s. Bailey's eclectic solo career has proven itself a stable complement to his current role as on-stage leader of Earth, Wind and Fire, which is back to headlining venues like Red Rocks Amphitheater. He views Shining Star as a fitting chronicle of his long career, but only up to a point. I did not want to write a book that just flattered me or sounded braggadocious, so I tried to put a lot in there about what was going on around me politically and culturally, he said. And the other thing is, the story continues is I never put a ceiling on what I'm going to do or where I'm going or where God's going to lead me. Thanks for watching. Like, share and subscribe.